For those of you who are following along at the sales, you know there was a couple of high-priced horses that we bid on and we didn't get. And that's always frustrating. You know, we're always really elated when we get horses for less than what we thought we'd pay for them, or when we get them for what we assume they're worth. But when we simply don't get the horses, it's obviously a little upsetting. We're not prepared to pay more than what we say we're going to. And I think that's a good practice to employ. So lots of times we just don't get the horses we want. Now, the odd time, we get horses that weren't on our radar. I remember I was in Harrisburg. We had just missed out on not one, not two, but 3 horses we really wanted. Probably 3 of our if you will, centerpieces of our Harrisburg excursion. There were 3 horses that we really wanted. We didn't get any of them. I was a little deflated. I think I went to get a beer. And I went to use the bathroom first, and I was coming back. And there was this beautiful horse out in the cross ties down at All-American Standardbreds, down at their consignment. And I wasn't in a hurry. I stopped and I walked down. I watched them walk her around and walk her off and walk her back. And there was other people looking at this filly. So I turned my book to the page. She's an Ontario bred. She's by Bettor's Delight. Her name was Hard 8. I'm not a superstitious person, and I don't buy horses for names or anything, but once in a while I do play craps. I do play Hard 8. So I was looking at the sale catalog. The second dam is the dam of Bolt the Doer, Shanghai Lil. Bolt the Doer is probably one of the best horses I've seen race in quite a long time. You know, obviously I watched him a lot because my brother Mark campaigned him for Pete Foley, I believe. But just a tremendous athlete, this horse. And this filly was a gorgeous filly. Now, here's my thinking. I have a lot of clients that say, well, the filly was 0 for 3. The first 3 foals out of the first dam were very mediocre. One was a Western Terrier, one was a Well Said. I forget what the other one was. None of them were, well said is, but the other 2 aren't what I would call mainstream sires. So people say, well, 0 for 3 isn't for me type thing, right? And for me, you can't hide from genes. You just can't hide from science and genetics. The second dam is loaded full of horses that are great horses. The first horse that I looked at out of the first dam was this filly, Hard 8. She's a gorgeous filly, big, huge filly, and most of the Bettor's Delights are small. And this is a giant of a filly. So for me, I went back, I told my wife about it, we went back, pulled her out, looked at her again. I sent her an email. I said, you know, these sales kind of wear you down, and you end up inflating the prices of what the horses should be worth in your head. So I talked to my wife about it, and I said, I think this filly's worth $50,000 to $60,000. Well-bred, strong family, and herself as an individual was a gorgeous horse. So we waited, and we had emails back. A couple of people said, I don't think she'll bring that. A couple of people said, I don't think we can get her. And some people were interested. We probably had about 50 or 60% of her spoken for at the $50,000 range. So we bid on her. We get her for $35,000 American. I was ecstatic. Very, very happy. You know, we get beat out in the last 3 that I wanted. Then we find this filly that really wasn't on our radar. It was just a gorgeous filly, and I was really, really happy. So Hard 8 is with us now. A couple of people also, like craps, bought into her also. But just a gorgeous filly. So watch her videos. You don't believe me. She is big. She's got a big long gait, and she is a beautiful filly. So here's a filly that's well-bred, long, beautiful gait, and we picked her up for what I would call a reasonable amount of money in Harrisburg. So if you're looking for an Ontario bred, if you're looking for a filly who's got some, as Ben Wallace called it when he was here, some real meat on the bone, so to speak, in the breeding, then take a look at this filly, because she's one good looking filly.